Ticket sales might not be so great, but Osaka 2022 is here, now less than 40 hours away. Here's the latest news prior to jump-off. Lunchtime on Friday saw the first fixtures announced. Yokozuna Kitanofuji opens up against growing threat Hoshoryu, who's hoping to at last fell him on the 6th try. Mitakeumi starts tournament Ozeki life against Ichinojo, who he beat for the 13th time in 9 weeks ago. Endangered Ozeki Shodai will not relish Daieisho, who's won 7 of their past 11, including the last 2. And other endangered Ozeki Takakeisho will hardly relish Ura, defeat to whom remains his last matchday memory. Elsewhere, new Sekiwake Abi starts against one of only 3 men to beat him last time, Onosho, who's won 3 of their last 4. While Tochinoshin begins his latest survival mission against Daredevil Akua. Meanwhile, in Division 2, Ryuden's long-awaited salaried level return starts against Division 2 newbie Shimazu Umi, while teenager Atami Fuji's first salaried bout is against last March's champion Hakuyozan. Day 2 then sees the Yokozuna tussle with the man he narrowly beat in January and November, Daieisho. Takakeisho faces a giant he actually leads 8-5, but still really seems to fear. Shodai also has a winning record against his foe, but has lost their last 2. While Mitakeumi reunites with Ura, who he beat on January opening day. All wrestlers, including straggler Takakeisho, have now arrived in Osaka. What have they had to say? Well, the new Ozeki told the Yomiuri newspaper he does not feel anxious, despite no practice with top-level men of late. As you may know, there was no interstable session pre-Osaka. I'm impatient to get in shape, but there are no worries. Somehow it'll be alright on the night. I'll find a way, Mitakeumi said. Should he sweep all before him again, he'll become the first man since Hakuho in 2006, and only the 6th post-war, to win his first Ozeki tournament. But there's no getting worked up. I may be in the firing line now, but it's important I keep my challenger's mentality, Mitake said, hinting a late push for Yokozuna is in his sights. For now, just as before, I want double figures, he added. The Yomiuri also points out he'll do well just to complete his first Ozeki meet, for in recent times, Tochinoshin, Takakeisho and Shodai all haven't. New Komusubi Hoshoryu, meanwhile, fought 25 bouts on Wednesday with his salaried colleagues, then declared, having won 11 last time, of course I will go for the title here. He's apparently been watching the bouts of Kitanofuji and other historic greats to absorb new fight plans. And, clearly repentant for past sins, he called his uncle on Tuesday to be told, "You've fought all the top guys, you know all their styles, and now it's on you to deliver." Hoshoryu himself added, "I know double figures takes me closer to Ozeki, but 8 wins is the focus for now." He's become Tatsunami Stable's main man post-demotion of Meisei, who has told reporters, "Although I had high fever and couldn't train for 10 days with COVID, I kept my appetite and therefore my body weight. And luckily, that coincided with the recovery period for my back strain, so I could rest up rather well. In January, okay, I came up short, but still beat a Yokozuna and Ozeki." and gained a lot from that. I was injured in the tournament run-up, but got to learn a lot about how my body responds in certain conditions, which was of course beneficial. In recent training, I've been working on keeping my head down and attacking from low. Of course, I want to give the crowd a boost by toppling the big names again, and also want to crawl back up that chart. Taking the long way round seems to be what I do. 11 years ago was his pro sumo debut, alongside Kitanofuji, delayed by the match-fixing scandal, which saw March 2011 cancelled. The earthquake and tsunami 11 years ago today may well have seen that tournament called off anyway. We will of course therefore back Wakataka Kage and his Ornami brothers this time, whose hometown was wiped out by that tsunami. And another profoundly impacted wrestler, albeit indirectly, was Hakuho, turning 37 today and thus 26 on the day of disaster. It was scary enough being in Tokyo, Coach Magaki recalled. So heaven knows what it was like for the people on the ground. That day redefined my sense of destiny. We sumo wrestlers represent all of Japan all year round, and the Yokozuna represents all of sumo. That's why, whenever March 11th subsequently came, I had to win. I could not lose. Besides, I knew plenty of folk in the affected regions. It's a day those of us who lived out in Japan will forever regard with horror. And may I also express my condolences to any Spanish viewers of this channel, for whom March the 11th, 2004 must also be a truly horrible memory. Okay, back to Osaka, and what do the pundits think? Well, new stablemaster Takekuma has tipped Hoshoryu for big things in his recent interview. Let's see if the youngster delivers. And ex-Yokozuna Kitanofuji, still working with NHK just weeks shy of 80, says, Mitakeumi is the second best wrestler in sumo, and he earned Ozeki by beating the one man above him. With the other Ozeki being so unreliable, this is an amazing chance for Mitake to pursue the highest rank. He certainly looks like a guy who can win at least 10 every time. Kitanofuji, I heard, not only injured his right heel against Meisei, but couldn't train as planned even before January. After his dominant display in November, I thought he could easily last another 2 or 3 years, but now I'm unsure. March could be tough for him, and I wonder if he'd be better advised to rest up until he recovers peak condition. But the fact he still challenged till the end last time shows what a great champion he is. For me, in the current climate, I can't rule out a first title for Abi. I've been stunned by his recent feats, thinking, wow, a wrestler can transform even to that extent. He's got to be close to Ozeki now. Speaking as Chris Sumo, I think Abi might find the highest ever hopes around him a whole different challenge. But what of your opinion? Who's going to take Osaka 2022? The comments box awaits your thoughts. As for this channel, as I have one job on Tuesday morning in Tokyo, we miss days 1 and 2, then speed in on day 3 to cover that afternoon and all others, 13 days straight. Thank you for your support as ever. Why, in the internet age, undertake the heavy task of doing all on the ground, you may ask? Well, as this inscription reads, to sample the fun of overcoming difficulty with my own skin. Looking forward to taking you closer and closer to the real action.